Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. Remember the episode where I was doing a reaction video on stuff made here's bow that could never miss because he built in all kinds of computers and software and pendulums and everything? Well, way back then I suggested why not using your phone as an aiming system, because it has a very cool camera, and if we know the distance to the target by using like a laser distance finder, then it could be like a never miss concept. So you use your phone instead of a normal red dot sight, and then you see your target in the phone, and then it knows the distance and it automatically matches for the drop of the arrow or whatever projectile you're going to use. Well, he declined because he said he's not so interested in making real products. But I am. I'm actually living on selling real life products. So I was really happy when a very talented engineer contacted me and said that he had actually tinkered around with the same idea already. But he was using a different concept. He was not using a laser distance finder, because those are expensive and not easy to use, because you gotta look at the target and then press a button. That's like the Garmin Zero is doing it, and then it knows the distance and only then can it start to work. Now he said he simply instinctively selected the distance, because you normally know what kind of distance you have when you're looking at a target that is in the 50, 60, 70 meter range, which is the effective range of a weapon that is using arrows instead of gunpowder propelled projectiles that are a lot faster. So we played around with it, and he actually made a piece of test software that functions so great that today I would like to take my time and present it to you. The never miss aiming concept for crossbows. And here it is. As you see, I mounted an Android phone to my crossbow. Very hard to see probably in that kind of lighting. But you can see that this works already in camera mode and the software is already running. And now I can use this as an aiming system. What is the concept behind this? A fairly weak crossbow like this one, which is really only a tactical crossbow, has a significant drop because the arrow is slow. So it will sink over the course of the flight. But if you measure that kind of ballistic curve on a few points, like 3 points, 10 meters, 25 meters, 50 meters distance, then you can extrapolate between these 3 points. And when you type in the correct distance to the target, then the system can automatically tell you how you have to aim. This means like the crosshairs in the scope will automatically adjust for the distance. And you, in theory, you can never miss. Now, how do you measure the distance to the target? Well, in many cases, you will automatically know from experience. You can say this is between 30 and 35 meters and so on. Some people can. Some are better in this and some are not as good in this. I think it comes down to training. Anyway, the idea that we have is that either you select the distance by, just going for the distance, or what you can do is you can just use a human head as a size reference. So I painted 3 individual zombies. Aren't they very, very pretty? This one is incredibly mean. I used my head to model their heads, to be the right size. So this is, I think, about the right size. Now, if you take this as a reference and then you select how big it is, like how big is a head on that target distance, then you would automatically know how far it is away. And that is the idea. If the camera is always on a fixed zoom, you can't go wrong because you train it that way. And this is what you can do. You actually, in the software, you determine the size of the head and it works. So I can show you how that works now. You see that I have here a target. That's the first target. And I have another one more far away. And a third one that is even more far away. Okay, now let's look at the first target. And you see that we have these blue bars here. There's 2 blue bars. And I can actually, to show you how this works, I can switch to a white background. And you see you have these 2 blue bars. And these blue bars means this is the distance between the top of the head and the chin. So the size of the head. And now let me switch back to the camera. Now what we do is we scan this, so we go into this direction until we have the target exactly like in between the two blue bars. So here you can see that on the 10-meter distance, this is exactly the size of the head. You see it now fits between the two. So this is 10 meters distance, and it has adjusted the cross here exactly like this. So this is where I have to aim if I want to hit from 10 meters. Now we go the exact opposite. This is the far away target. And right now, of course, if you would see, this is the blue bars is actually completely too far away. So we have to go into this direction and bring them together. Okay, more. Now we're in the right area. As you see here, when I take the blue bars, this is about the size that we have. This is the size of the human head. So this is a 48-meter distance. And this one is in between. And as you see, it also automatically corrected the position of the cross, which is really our crosshairs. So this means that if I want to hit it, I have to hold over a lot, like this, until so I hit it. Now this one is in between. Let's go and go down in the range here. Until we have this like here. So this here is the 20-meter distance. As you see now, the head fits in between the blue bars again. And now the crosshairs have automatically adjusted. So this is how it works. And this is how it looks like in real life. You see we have the 3 different targets in 3 different spots. And that is 10 meters, 20 meters, and about 50 meters, like 48 meters distance. We will now try to hit the targets, all 3, using the new never miss sighting system. And I put balloons instead of zombie heads so that we can hopefully see them popping. Okay, so we have the first target, the smallest balloon. Let's go. This is the 10-meter distance. Yeah, as you see, it fits right between those. Okay. Kind of awkward, just doing this for the camera for you. Okay. Here's my crosshairs. Bang! That was the first one. Now we're changing it, fitting in the new zombie face here. As you see, it fits between the 2 blue, so it's 20-meter distance. And as you see, the red part is now much higher already. Okay. Ha! We got it. And now we have the far away one. And this one is really complicated, guys, because I'm only using, to give it a more ballistic effect, I'm using the weak 90-pound training limb set so that I have a more dramatic fall to simulate longer distances. But the 48 or 50 meters is really far for this little bow here. So wish me luck that we can hit it, because it's really at the limit. Probably going to use a few attempts anyway. Okay. That's my faraway target over there. Okay, that's the 48-meter distance. And as you see, between the blue bars, our zombie head fits. Okay, and let's go for it. Very awkward to shoot that way so that the camera can see it. Ha! I got it! What a cool system, don't you think? Now, as you see, I mounted the telephone sideways to the crossbow. Why did I do this? Well, so I can still use the red dot sight. and this makes it very easy to sight in the 10-meter point. You simply bring the two parts together and you're done. Specifically for the vertical part of the crosshair, that's really efficient. But of course you can also go another way. So this, for example, is a little holder that I made myself. Then you can attach this directly to the rail and then it would be on top of it. So, but here this way, what I also did is, if you look closely, I used glue to make this, to immobilize this. So this can still clamp in the phone, but you can no longer adjust it because I want it to stay in the same way for reproduction of the setting. What is the future of this little project? I am thinking about offering a special holder that attaches to a Picatinny rail like this one here. You see, it's just put on here and you can put the red dot on top. And then also use the clamp and so on. I'm simply trying to start a public domain software project that everybody shares software versions, and I will promote the best app. I mean, this is Android, of course, but there's no reason to not also program it for an Apple. And even the low quality stuff is kind of useful. And it also is a lot of fun. I love my little never miss aiming system, and I hope you do too, because that's it for today. Oh, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye.